Namaste and welcome to Bhoom of Bharat with Rama Shivkumar, where every week we are meeting the GCC leads and talking about what's happening in the GCC world. And today we have a very known personality, Ajay Wadhwa, whom everybody knows in the industry. So Ajay, welcome to Bhoom of Bharat, and thank you so much for joining our podcast and coming and talking to our listeners. So I would request you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Namaste, everyone. And thank you, Rama, for having me on your show to talk about the GCC, which is an exciting world. I'm Ajay Wadhwa, CEO of Tata Motors Business Services Limited. With over 25 years of experience as a chartered accountant, my expertise lies with GCC implementation, driving business transformation, scaling operations, and delivering business value for organizations globally. I have experience with five large-scale greenfield GCC implementations spanning across service centers, operations, transformation projects, change management, system implementation, project management. I have a comprehensive understanding of managing a diverse range of functions, including finance and accounting, procurement, logistics, order to cash, and HR activities, with a strong focus on leveraging global talent and diverse background.
So thank you so much, Ajay. It was really great to hear about, and I've heard about a lot of work that you have done in Indorama, Johnson's Controls, Axo Noble, and that's where I met you. And so we would like to also understand if you could share a memorable challenge or a breakthrough moment for which you have in your journey of building and scaling these GCCs.
In fact, Rama, to share with you, I mean, every moment through my career has been a memorable one. But if you really ask me what I enjoyed the most, it was the challenge during my journey of building and scaling up GCC was navigating through the pandemic impact. The onset of COVID-19 created an entirely new set of complexities that forced us to think differently how GCCs could be set up, operate, scale, and deliver value in such uncertain times. In the early months of the pandemic, many of our global teams were in lockdown, and we had to quickly transition from in-office work to remote work. This shift posed several significant challenges: maintaining operational continuity, employee well-being, and retention and scaling during uncertainty. Instead of focusing solely on managing the crisis, we decided to lean into digital transformation and make the shift to remote first operations. The true breakthrough moment for me was when I saw how resilient the team was during this unprecedented time. Despite all the challenges, disruption, emotional strain, remote work, the GCC teams were not just surviving, they were excelling. The pandemic forced us to rethink our work models, uncovering more efficient and flexible, innovative ways of operating. It showed that GCCs can adapt quickly, drive transformation, and thrive in uncertainty, reinforcing that agility and innovation are key to success.
No, no, thank you so much. It's just awesome to even know that, even in times of COVID, when everybody was like, so shaken up, it was these GCCs which started playing a very important role and our talent. In fact, I still remember a lot of, a lot of doubt which was there across the world that when India still will have the kind of, benefit or the advantage we have. And we proved it right. So thank you so much, Ajay. And you spoke about transformation. I also wanted to understand how do you see the shift which is happening in the GCCs? We were more cost effective. Now, where do you see the transition going? Do you see a change there?
There is a big shift which we have been observing over the last 3 decades. And the biggest shifts in GCC operations today reflect a much more dynamic, integrated, and technology-driven landscape. While early GCCs were focused primarily on cost savings and basic operational support, today's centers are critical enablers of digital transformation, innovation, and strategic decision making. Companies are leveraging these centers to not only support their global operations but to drive growth, foster innovation, and enhance competitive advantage. With the rapid advancement in technology, talent management and organizational design. So GCCs have evolved into strategic powerhouses that are central to the success of multinational enterprises.
No, no, thank you so much, Ajay. That's really wonderful to see how digitalization is playing a big role. That was my, related question. Do you see that AI and, ML, or we're talking about the cloud technologies, the digital technologies, the business 4.0 we say, are going to be the next generation GCCs? You see that a trend?
Of course, in fact, the AI, ML, cloud based technology, they are changing the complete landscape for GCCs. The next gen GCCs will be more agile, tech driven, and strategically integrated into the global business ecosystem. AI, automation, and cloud computing will serve as the backbone, enabling GCCs to scale, innovate, and drive efficiency across geographies. The focus will shift from operational support to a more proactive role in innovation, product development, customer experience, and global business transformation. The structure will be agile, decentralized, and collaborative, ensuring that GCCs can respond quickly to the changing market needs and technological advancements.
So, do you want to share maybe some example or something around that, Ajay, without naming the company about it?
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of companies who are working aggressively on their AI, ML, and cloud-based technologies and all. And we don't only see this transformation happening in the finance and accounting world, where companies have done big transformation on the invoice processing or the PO creation, but also there are aggressive implementation of AI, ML in non-traditional functions like direct taxes, indirect taxes, legal functions, and manufacturing functions as well, to bring in not only the efficiency and effectiveness in the process, but also to enable the leadership to take real-time decisions and insight-based decisions so that they can take the right decisions and make the processes and people more effective.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this, Ajay. And I have seen you working very closely with the leadership that was sitting in US, especially for AxoNovel. And you were very close to the CEO, understanding what the business needs are. So how is that, differently were you doing? Because people keep saying in the industry that, we're not being treated as a kind of a partners, but what I have always seen you, that you've been partners, you had a seat on the board, if I may have to say that.
It's actually is a combination of two factors. What I have seen in my experience over last 20 plus years, that's it's all about that how GCCs are adding value to the organization, how proactive the GCCs are bringing in solutions on the table, and how the technological enhancements or technology deployment is being suggested and partnered with the larger organization to bring in efficiency and effectiveness in the process of work. The organizations, if you really ask me, they are more keen and open to bring in and then partner more and more with the GCCs. And GCCs are always seen as an integral part of the organization. But it all depends on how GCCs are proactive in developing and deploying solutions for the larger benefit of the organization.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing with you mentioning that important thing, how GCs are adding value to a larger organization. That's I would say, a context for, everybody to learn and see how is that we can practice. So since you're talking about, talent, I want to know also understand. So how do you see basically a talent getting groomed? And as we are looking at new technologies getting added, so how do you see this, a change in the talent?
This topic has been of an interest for all the GCCs right from beginning. It's attracting and retaining the top talent within the GCCs. I mean, from my perspective, to attract and retain top global talent, GCCs must offer more than just competitive pay. They need to foster an environment that promotes continuous learning, flexibility, innovation, and well-being, while also offering opportunities for global exposure and career advancement. By aligning their strategies with the evolving needs and expectations of the modern workforce, GCCs can not only attract top talent but also keep them engaged, satisfied, and loyal over the long term.
I see that, when I, one of the instances I saw you, how, especially the people with disabilities, that you were kind of inviting them to the office and seeing how is that, both your talent and how these people could gel together, and, things could be done. Even how, this can be made employable in that, in Acts Noble. So thank you so much. That was really interesting. Any experiences do you want to share?
In fact, to continue on the same topic, retaining and developing the talent, it all depends on how you engage them, how you give them a sense of ownership and sense of pride of working with the organization, and drive the culture of diversity and inclusiveness within the organization and with the people. They truly see that yes, their opinions matter, their ideas do matter, and they are taken care of well by the organization. So that's really important, and that's what I have been practicing in all my organization to ensure on one side we focus on development of the people in terms of upskilling them, their career development, but at the same time giving an opportunity to them to bring their ideas and deploy them and take the ownership of what they want to do and how do they want to drive it.
So thank you so much, Anajay. Hats off to you. Not everybody can do that. Having a workforce which is, a broader sense, it's not easy for that, because a lot of time people want to say that, okay, I have people, let them, go and do it themselves rather than putting efforts to train them and, putting in the learning. So my next question related to that would be, where do you see the next generation leaders of GCC to be? What skills do you think they should be possessing?
That's something, Rama, I would say multiple skill set which now leaders need to possess and demonstrate in the next gen GCC. So, from my perspective, next generation GCC leaders will need to be multifaceted, combining strong technical acumen with people skills, cultural sensitivity, and strategic vision. As GCCs continue to evolve into key business enablers, leaders who possess these qualities will be best positioned to inspire their teams, foster innovation, and drive business success across regions. By focusing on cultural intelligence, strategic thinking, technological competence, and emotional intelligence, they can guide their organization through the complex landscape of future, creating sustainable growth and success for the organization.
Oh, thank you so much. And, again, I would say that the focus on having emotional intelligence, having this empathy, that's very important. And, I see that coming from a great leader like you. So, how is that you see, the collab when you're doing the collaboration with the, multi geography, I would say customers or stakeholders. So, how do you maintain that cultural, differences, or how do you take care of those cultural collaboration, if I may have to say?
When we are working with the GCCs, this cultural collaboration of working with people with different diverse background is given, and you need to equip yourself to manage people across different cultures, different backgrounds successfully, and that's of paramount importance. So, from my perspective, successfully managing cultural differences and driving collaboration in global GCCs requires a combination of awareness, flexibility, and strategic leadership. By fostering cultural sensitivity, creating inclusive environments, investing in technology, and emphasizing clear communication, global teams can work together effectively despite cultural and geographical differences. With these strategies in place, GCCs can create an environment where collaboration thrives, innovation flourishes, and diverse teams deliver exceptional results.
Okay. Maybe any examples that you want to share here, Ajay, from your experience to our audience?
Sure. I have the opportunity to work with great companies likes of Clariant, ExxonMobil, Indorama, and now with Tata Motors, where we have been working with people and teams across different cultures, And one thing which I really loved about all these organizations, they not only have that as part of their value system, that the cultural differences or diversity and inclusion is not only is part of the value system, but it's practiced in the day-to-day life. And when we talk about working closely with the different people across different cultures, it's the understanding of each other's culture and adapting to that. That's really important. Earlier, and there is a big shift which I'm seeing nowadays. So earlier, the cultural adaptation or cultural understanding was more expected from people in India to understand the cultures of different regions and adapt to that. But there is a shift which I'm seeing now. People in Europe or US or in other nations, they also try and understand from India perspective and the culture of India, and that's something which is working superbly and is changing the game altogether over.
Yeah, you rightly said that. I was in UK. Last 2 years, I would say that, and I could see Diwali getting celebrated. Otherwise, earlier we never used to have those kind of thing doing that in UK, or even people
These
knowing
are
and
these are simple
wishing you.
these are simple things, but uh, go a long way in engagement of people. I mean, if you are wishing on Diwali to India community, I mean, they will really feel happy about it. Similarly, if you are wishing Christmas or other festivals across different nations, these are very important aspects of cultural differences.
And I remember the times, when we started that long time back, 94, 96. At that point of time, you were not taking leave on Diwali, you were working. Versus now, I could in UK also take a off and say, I have 1 week off on Diwali. So definitely that's its, change that I see.
I just wanted to share an interesting story. So with Indorama Ventures, I shifted to Kolkata. We were setting up the shared service center there. In the very first year, for our closing process, we made the people work during the Dashera holidays. Even though it was the pandemic period, everybody was working from home. So that month, that year, they agreed, okay, and they delivered as well. The team was really nice, and I'm really proud of them. But after the closing, when we had the town hall, which we normally used to have every month, I got a feedback from the team that Ajay, I mean, this is something if we can do it differently, and we can give people the holidays during the Dashera holidays, that would be great. And that came as a pleasant feedback to me. And from next year onwards, we made sure, come what may, we will not have people working over the Dashera holiday because it's a core festival for them. So and the entire organization agreed to it. That's something which I must thank the entire organization agreeing to that as well.
I should say hands off to their talent, because Kolkata Durga Puja is the very, very important thing, and that's the main festival. And even during that time, the team worked. Oh, awesome! I'm sure you have made very nice and proud, leaders, which is there. So I think thank you so much for sharing that. And I think the related question is going to be so, with your experience for the new GCCs which are coming up, because we're seeing a lot saying that okay, India today have 1800 plus GCCs, but the numbers are going to grow. So, what is a piece of advice that you would like to give it to the new GCCs we are looking to set up?
So, as you rightly said, I mean, the India GCC hub, I mean, that's growing and evolving over the years. And in fact, if I go with the latest survey results, we expect roughly around 1,000 more GCCs coming up in next 5 to 7 years. And with this, I think there is something more which is expected out of the GCC leaders. And if I could give one piece of advice to the business leaders setting up new GCCs, that would be think beyond cost savings, focus on building a long-term, innovation-driven and scalable ecosystem. While it's tempting to focus solely on the immediate cost efficiencies that a GCC can offer, but that's given. The most successful centers evolve into strategic assets that contribute to innovation, business transformation, and competitive advantage. This mindset shift is critical for future proofing the GCCs and ensuring it becomes a true business partner.
Thank you so much for this advice, Ajay. I certainly agree that we have to be a business partner, and with your leadership, I'm sure the companies like Indorama, Clarion, Johnson's Control, ExxonMobil, they have been, pivotal. Even Tata Motors, the GPS, has been definitely in driving digital transformation, and also, building a kind of a culture of innovation and being a business partner. That's very, very important. And thanks for sharing your thoughts. Anything final that you would like to kind of, talk to our listeners?
So, from my perspective, I mean, this GCC world is an exciting world. And people should enjoy this and try and focus more on the transformational shift the GCCs are undergoing from simple service hubs to being core drivers of innovation, business strategy, and global talent collaboration. So, so my perspective would be the growing importance of AI, cloud computing, and digital transformation, along with expanding role of GCCs in driving sector-specific innovation and fostering regional economic growth, will undoubtedly create a whole new level of value for businesses globally.
Thank you so much for joining in, today, and, hearing your experiences and, thoughts about it. So thank you once again. And for the viewer, thank you so much for tuning in to the special episode of Boomer Bharat. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on the ideas and innovations shaping our world of GCCs. If you have any thoughts or stories to share on this topic, we would love to hear from you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, SRK Game Changers, or on my website. Once again, thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you for having me, Rama.